Good day, mates. You lost here, and welcome to this game.
With the sound, feel love, with the fire, with the fire, with the fire, with the fire.
Vandal Hearts is a game for the PlayStation 1 that came out a little bit before Final Fantasy Tactics did. Game by Konami, as you notice. And this.
Sostagaria. For over a millennium, the fertile lands in the heart of this vast continent were ruled by the Holy Asha dynasty, descendants of Taroa the Messiah. However, it is man's doom to forget. Amidst all the wealth and exotic pleasures, the nobility lost their way and sank into corruption and depravity, forgetting even the holy teaching of Taroa. It was in these days of unrest that the citizens, struggling under an oppressive regime, rose up and, under the leadership of Aris the Sage, took up arms against the kingdom. That was the first outbreak of violence in what would later be known simply as the Revolution. The royal army's counterattack was swift and fierce, but time and time again they were put to flight by the cunning strategies of Aris and the indomitable will of the advancing Liberation Army. Victory in hand, the rebels set up a council and worked to establish the continent's first democracy. And so, the Republic of Ishtaria was born. However, Aris the Sage, whom all hoped would lead the country, mysteriously vanished and has not been seen again to this day. Now, 15 years later, the shadow of war once again threatens Ishtaria.
Yes, that voiceover is that quiet. I actually muted myself for most of that, if not all of it, because it's kind of hard to hear. Now we see mysterious purple mist island here with a rather creepy atmosphere. The moon being big, all big over it and whatnot. Yes. Anyway, 1254 to Gobaris Island, the castle ruins. Occasionally, you'll hear me clicking a button. That's because I'm using a rather old PS3 controller. It makes a little bit of noise here and there. Circle button happens to be the loudest one, which is what I'm using to confirm most of this stuff, like to move on and whatnot. What is this place? Oh, hidden room. What's that? Oh, that sparkle. This must be it. These rays, what's happening? Blinded by the light. Wait, this obviously doesn't happen until... That obviously doesn't happen in the till the 1980s. Never mind. Anyway. Welcome to Act 1, A Premonition of War. Ash? Ash! We step into the, role of merchants. Ash! Huh. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking.
Well, you better get up. We've got some trouble.
We're surrounded.
You're trapped. Don't you know that this valley belongs to the fangs of Umbaba?
There are some dumb wandering peddlers. Ignorance is the root of misfortune, as they say.
If you want to live, hand over everything you got. Although they'll probably kill you, right, boss?
What? You got that right. So many dots.
Too scared to talk, baby. I'm coming over and...
First thing you'll notice about this game, there's lots of blood. Be forewarned.
What the? Ha! Where's that stupid laugh now?
Now you're the ones who are trapped.
Who the hell are you guys?
Ash Lambert, 3rd Platoon, Isharian Security Forces.
Diego Renault, from the same.
Clint Picard, likewise.
Ash! Ash of the Black Wind?
Surrender quietly and we'll grant you quarter.
Against only 3? Kill them now! Ah.
So, the object of this game is to get through battles without losing too many people. The way this game works is it's a turn-based game. You move one person at a time. When you move somebody, you can either attack someone, call yourself done, face a direction, examine the square that you're on, or push an object if you can. For now, I'm going to go attack this guy from the side. Whenever you attack someone, the enemy can counterattack if they're able to. And sometimes you might not want to do what I'm doing, but when you attack someone and an ally's next to them, you deal a little bit more damage to them, but that guy blocks, so he takes none. And Diego got retaliated against. Diego's an archer. He normally would attack people from range. Ash is a hero. He attacks with a sword. Clint, who is a soldier, also attacked with a sword. Let us proceed. And a lot of blood happens here. Nobody else can move. We'll end our turn. Now, the way the system works is that we move all of our guys in a turn, then when we end our turn, the enemy moves all of their guys, or does something with them otherwise. Like moving and that sort of thing. Now, I'm gonna move Clint to this little weird thicket here. You'll notice in the lower left corner, it tells you the name of the terrain, and it gives you a percentage. Like on the plains area here, 0%, prairie is 5%, and the thicket, which Clint's sitting on, is 15%. That is a boost to your defense. So, this guy, if he hits Clint, it's not going to do much damage. Like, 3. Really, that's not very much at all. I am going to move Ash down this way. And I think I'll do the same with Diego for now. Can move nobody else, let's end our turn. I cannot react against that attack because obviously Clint has a sword, so he can't exactly react to someone from range. Whenever you attack somebody from behind, you can't block their attack. Although if you're able to counter the enemy still, you can still counter attack the enemy. Like that. And also, you gain levels by earning experience, and you gain levels by earning experience, which you can get from making attacks that actually land and do damage, using items or using magic. You gain XP from healing. Now we're gonna move Ashy Boy here. I'll stick Diego here for now. And I'll keep Clint there for a little bit longer, I think. You can choose not to move somebody in a turn if necessary. And sometimes not moving somebody is a good idea. Like, for example, if they're going to serve as a distraction, like so. And I only did 1 damage. Wow. Since Clint is about half dead, I'll do something with him in a minute. Now what I'm doing is I'm examining the square that I'm on. Weird spots on the map sometimes will contain items. Like there's a spot here that looks a little on the weird side of things, and there's a spot here that I'm gunning for as well. Anyway. I am going to use an herb that Clint is holding to heal himself, because I want to wait until more of the guys are in a position so that I can start taking heads home. When you block, you can usually block either from attack that comes in front or an attack that comes from behind you. I mean, no, from beside you, not from behind you. You can't block attacks that come from behind. Anyway. Suit does a lot more damage than the average person. He has a better sword than the other brigand does. Anyway. Gonna interrupt this programming to just stab this hunter in the face. Like so. You'll learn more about this later, but generally, swords are good against archers, and archers are not so good against the swords. Although archers are good against something else, which you'll see later. I think I'll keep Clint there. What I just did there is if you hit the square button, you can find anyone that you haven't used yet and highlight them. It's handy if you have like a bunch of guys spread out across the map or something and you don't feel like trying to search for them so hard by moving around the map. Incidentally, this also came out before the DualShock was available, so yeah, you're going to be using the D-pad for a lot of things, and given that this is an isometric map style of things, it might not necessarily be the best. And I can't quite reach him with that, so... damage him a little bit. Now, Clint is gonna go see if he can kill this guy. Which he can. Good. And Ash is going to... Ash is the only one that we have right now that has magic, and he has a self-healing spell. Sometimes it's good, but when you get to higher levels, it's not so worth it. Oh boy, that can't be good. Anyway, let's proceed. Thought these settings were right. Oh well, anyway. I think I'll have Diego get this random item that's back here. Diego can level up in the next level in the next map pretty easily, so it's not that big of an issue if he doesn't this time. Anyway, what's gonna end up happening is that Zoot there is gonna be pursuing us, but he won't be getting to us for a little while, thankfully, because he's a little far away. And yeah. Let's keep going. We can check the movement of enemies by going to an enemy and hitting the circle button. You can kind of guess about where he'll go. Enemies usually go for either like somebody's side or somebody's back, if possible. So I'm thinking that he's probably would go for Ash if I don't move him. Anyway. We're gonna move a little bit further back. And I'll move Clint over here. Just let him proceed. Freaking Zoot there is gonna get murdered very shortly. By somebody, whether it's me or otherwise. And I think I will end my turn there. My hope is that he goes for Ash. No, he's gonna go for Clint. That's weird. Well, that's inconvenient. And... well, this is actually my second attempt at recording this, and Clint has gotten level 6 both times. Impressive. Hopefully Diego does some good damage to him. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna do a thing here. I'll stick Ash there for now. And I'll have Diego attack him from behind from an elevated position. You do more damage the higher up you are, and you do slightly less damage the lower you are. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done specifically that. Oh well, I'm gonna finish him off with Clint. I don't need to delay this any further. Goodbye, Zoot. Arr, don't kill me. I'm pleading with you. Ugh. You win. And We get a certain amount of gold for killing each enemy. Sometimes they are worth different amounts. Like, I think Zoot was worth 200 and the other ones are worth 100 each. And
That should teach you guys huh? It's you. I knew I seen you before. Zugatch.
what? Same Zoot Gatch that we threw in jail just 2 months ago?
Yep, same bonehead grin. Don't you recognize him?
The pleasure's all mine.
Wait a minute. Only 2 months he's already out. He must have busted out.
True, but I don't think for a moment that this loser would be able to break himself out of prison. Staves and stones may crack your bones, but don't bother me, because my friends won't forget about me. That's a terrible rhyme.
What does that mean? Answer me.
Oh, nothing. I'm just mumbling. I think I get it. Bandits have shut off all trade in this valley. Butterfreed is probably reaping huge black market profits. A crooked politician or merchant pulled strings. So what else is new?
That burns me up. Should I put an arrow right now, Ash?
No, stop! Hold it, Diego. Killing this flea is no answer. Our job is finished. Let's go back to Shamaria. The finest in this area. Oh boy. Now let us move to... This is how you move around the map. By moving around. You can check to see your guys' stats by going to status. You can adjust your options. You can do either fixed or dynamic camera. I think I'm gonna go fixed. I think. We'll do stereo. Sound is fine. We'll stick with fast text because otherwise it's terrible. We can save our games here and we can load games here. I won't be doing that just yet, but because it's not necessary. We can check out our items and rearrange items in here. I'm gonna toss the sword in Clint's direction. We keep the shit sword on hand. Diego can go toss this book into the depot for now. We're not gonna need it for a while. But rest assured, I will be using that book at some point. And we can move to other places. We were in the Valley of Thieves. Now we're going to the capital of Shamaria. First, let's go to HQ and give our report. We can move around within the towns. Sometimes there's special places like the Security Force HQ, for example. We can go hit up the shop, the dojo. We could go to the tavern, but I don't think they'll allow us just yet. So let's go to the HQ and just give our report. Whatever that is. Sometimes it takes a while to load. Like so. And that concludes my report. I see. Well done. Let's take a good look into the background of this Zoot Gatch. I agree.
As always, the big guy gets away, the truth gets swept under the carpet, and only the small guy gets screwed.
Hey, you're out of line. You're right. There are lots of things wrong with this government. Corrupt politicians, oppressive taxes, and not enough police. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. But no matter how filthy things get, as long as we remember who we are. We, the people, have the freedom to change things for the better. And it's that freedom that so many people died for 15 years ago. I understand.
I had no right to mouth off like that. I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. In any case, y'all did a fine job. Why don't you relax a little?
Now, how about we head to the tavern for a drink?
I'm gonna go hit up the shop actually, because why not? We earned some money last time. It'll be good. Anyway, let's sell the short sword that we took off of Clint's hands. I don't know why he didn't come in there with a better sword. I'm gonna go purchase some better armor for everybody that can use it. So, there are helmets, like headbands, like bandanas, heavy armors, like leather, and then there's like lighter armors, like capes and wool robes. No one that we have right now can use the capes and wool robes, so we're not going to be pimping anyone out in a sweet-ass cape. So, it's good to maintain the armor as much as possible, because, well, enemies do a lot of damage in this game, and you do a lot of damage as well if you keep your weapons up to date. I'm gonna just... Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna give Diego a better bow just yet. And in shops, there's a section for items. You can usually find some kind of herb in there, some kind of healing item, some kind of magic restoring item, some kind of curative item like something that cures poison or paralysis. And there are unique items in shops sometimes, like we have a fire gem here, for example. That's a pretty decent early on item, but we're probably not going to be buying it, because it is a little on the pricey side of things. And we're going to hit up the dojo next. Why not? There's not much for us here right now, but welcome to my dojo. What do you seek? But we can learn a little bit more about how this game operates under guidance. Listen carefully. Let's learn about growth. It is the goal of every man to attain the highest rank in his profession. After reaching level 10 and 20, you may come here to learn new skills. Always strive to find the best in yourself. Is there anything else you wish to know? Alright, so at level 10 and at level 20, you can promote a person to be a certain class. We're going to learn a little bit more about the classes here under the 7 powers. The 7 classes correspond to the 7 powers that Taroa mastered. They are Knight, Armor, Archer, Airman, Mage, Priest, and Monk. You must choose wisely in order to create a well-balanced party. Is there anything else you wish to know? The wording seems a little bit weird, but knights are your swordsmen, weirdly enough, not people that use polearms, which is kind of counterintuitive to what you normally think in a game, but whatever. It's sword defeats bow, bow defeats air, and air defeats sword. Armor is strong but slow, mages are weak but wise, monks use word and claw. Always remember these basic rules before you engage your foe in war. Is there anything else you wish to know? What's this legend thing? Taroa underwent severe trials to master the 7 powers of war. If you seek true power, you must undergo the 6 trials just as Taroa. Remember that each door must first be unlocked by a key. Is there anything else you wish to know? For now, not really. Keep the faith. And I think I'll start our R&R in the next episode. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.